Let's go catch a wallet. In case you all didn't know, last week we had a little minor problem, and that is I lost my wallet in the water. So we're actually going to hire one of these shrimp boats, and we're going to drag the whole area where we went to last week to try to find it. Oh, shit. Good morning, Manny.
Good morning.
All right. So today we're out here again. So, most people don't see what you actually do in the morning before you actually come out and take people out on a fishing guide. So what time did you get started this morning?
5 o'clock.
In the morning?
Yeah, and actually, I got started last night. You hitch up, you make sure you've got your drinks, you make sure you've got ice, you make sure all your reels are spooled up, that you didn't run low on hooks, that you didn't run low on swivels, weights, lures, anything that you might need to get you through the next day. You make sure you got sunscreen on the boat, off bug repellent. Just we check all the little minor details. Make sure the boat's running right, the batteries are charged, that the ignition wasn't left in forward, those kinds of things, the day before.
Yeah.
But then the morning of, we get started about an hour before everybody else does.
Yeah. Yeah, so, a lot of people come in January, February, March to do their books, for the previous year, and we usually tell them, yeah, we'll be more than glad to help you, but by then we can't really strategize with them or help them with anything. And so this is where, the early bird gets the worm, in the sense of that, in this particular case, hopefully it's the fish. So, people, you need to get started with your bookkeeping, even though I know that a lot of people think that it's overhead, that it's just extra money that's being spent. But the sooner you get started with it, the better it is for everyone, for you, preparing, tax planning, doing everything. Because after the fact, we can't really help you that much. So tell me, Manny, successful fishing. Do you find that morning, evening, high tide, low tide, that farmer's almanac things like that? What do you typically find, to go out fishing and to be successful?
A lot of people go off of the pressure gradient. They say that there's the barometric pressure, that they say that it could be high tide or low tide, incoming tide, outgoing tide. And so there's a lot of different factors that feed into successful fishing. One of the big ones is, you have to know what the moon phase is doing, what your tides are doing, because you can fish in one spot one day, and then the next time you get a full moon, it sucks out all the water from your bait system, and your bait system will be a foot lower the next day. So you have to.
Hopefully our mics will be working enough here.
you have to set up and know that the water's a lot more shallow that day. So you may need to go with a plan B or even a plan C as far as where you're going to fish and how you're going to strategize. So a lot of people use the moon phase. Different people use barometric pressure. Different people use the tide phase, whether it be high tide or low tide, or incoming tide or outgoing tide. And so, we have a little bit of that going on. Then there's the feeding times. Right now there's a whole bunch of new apps that tell you when the feeding times are going to be. You have majors and minors, what they call major feeding times and minor feeding times. Right. And a lot of us use those as strategy to come out and fish successfully.
So what's biting? I've been noticing that, we've been catching more drum, and even when I see other fishing guides and stuff, that they've been, why are drums more prevalent right now than they are usually, like when we come fishing in May, June, or July, or August? Or
I kind of see drum as like one of those fish that we go to. They're always here, and they're the one fish that's fished commercially in our bait system, a black drum. But whenever red drum are either off in the Gulf or in the back bays or just too shallow to get to, we will fall back on drum. Of course, they like crustaceans, they like crabs, they like shrimp, and we'll fall back on them to help fill the bag. So that's a lot of the reason why you see like some of the guides with drum. It's when we're struggling to get a hot trout bite or struggling to get a hot redfish bite, we will fall back and try to catch drum. So basically, they're kind of a fallback plan. At least for me, they are.
So what is the like in the mornings when you take off? I mean, do you generally like to hit your sweet spots? You know, where do you like when you're going out and you're actually going to take us out fishing right now? I mean, you start at your normal areas, or where is it that you kind of like focus on?
So what I focus on is each client is different. So I'll have some clients that want to bait fish. I have some clients that want to wade fish. Some that want to chase trophy trout. Some that want to chase redfish. Some that want flounder. Some want to go catch a tarpon. So I really need to strategize my day according to what the client's requests are. And I assume that's a lot like your business. You know, some clients focus on where they want to do their write-offs and where they want to adjust financially for their business. So I would assume that's the way they do it, but that's how I do it. So and typically I'll also go off of how I've done in prior days. If I had an early bite on redfish, I'll advise the clients, hey, listen, I know you wanted to go trout fish, but I had a really good early redfish bite tomorrow. Can we start with reds and then move into the trout? So that's kind of what we'll do.
All right. So I guess we're ready for round two. So we'll see you later. Hasta la vista, baby. Hopefully we can find my wallet.
Keep going now, right? Typical.